In spite of the outcome, one question still lingers on my mind. How did I even get to the chasm keyword in the first place? I remember darkness, and inky, glass-like, dripping blotches of nothing. And then I saw a red light. I returned to the present. The Maldivian River. Finway may have been delusional, but they were right about one thing. Only those that are lost can even enter the chasm to begin with. And Finway may have called me for the dialogue. But someone called first. Someone gave me the chasm keyword. Maybe they were right. The chasm did call me. And if that were true... Stop. I didn't need to go on needless tangents right now. So what if I have doubts? Doesn't everyone? And what does it matter if the chasm called me? I doubt I'll ever see it again. Some questions can't be answered. As you're deep in thought, you turn your head towards the Bahug Bay. Across the horizon, you notice a new phrase. A new fair eclipse in the sky. I don't think I've seen this one before. There are signs, voices, and noises relating to the fair surrounding you. Disembodied mouths and screeches from the void start whispering in the ears of passerbys. Need something to relax? Something to ease your worries? Feeling directionless? Losing your heart? Tired of feeling it all? Join the fun fair, where all cares go to waste. Sign up. Are free. We have free juice and snacks. Advertisements for their fun fair. What kind of snacks do they have? You pick up a cube of goo from the dock floor. Snacks include glummy livers, turret solgars, and classic homemade salt and nuts. Oh, Keiichi loves salt and nuts. The snacks are free. I might as well take the charity. You turn to whisper in one of the disembodied mouths. Hi. You guys were saying something about free snacks. Coming right away. And the mouth begins to eat itself, and spins outward from where it was. It orbits around an empty point in space, whilst simultaneously rotating on an axis. Then it comes to a stop. Open the top of the head. Inside were the snacks listed on the cube of goo. Glummy livers, turret solgars, and salt and snacks. Please, take the first juice too. You oblige. Congratulations. Your ceremony of commencement will begin shortly. Pardon? My ceremony of what? Never take free stuff. Now that you've given in the desire of delectable dining, we think you're ready. Ready? Ready for what? We've always been proud of you. You've been like a son to us. Huh? The game of catch. Couldn't reach, so you fell down. And there was no one to catch your fall. A different mouth approaches you. But now, someone is here to catch the fall. We're here, Gabe. Huh? Ready to catch your fall. First off, my name isn't Gabe. Secondly, I'm just going to take the snacks and go. Don't you know? When you join the fun fair, don't you know what happens next? I haven't joined anything. You took the snacks. You're in. I'll return them. The first mouth interrupts the second one. Wait. We apologize. Perhaps you weren't ready. We're sorry we let you down, our sweet little child. At least, will you attend orientation day? For what? The fun fair. Oh, the fun fair is a one-off event for the Cor Meum. It was all in one. Wait. The Cor Meum? Oh, yes. Sorry, we should have led with that first. Cor Meum is a collective high mind. Instead of terror or brute force, they're infected are the words to conquer them. Offering free snacks at a quasi carnival wouldn't be how I imagined running into one. So, orientation is what again? Well, we would introduce you to the philosophies of the Venom Kava and say why you should join us. Sounds reasonable. It may be true. But if I don't join, they'll certainly kill me. And if I don't, agreeing to the orientation. They'll kill me too. Just my lucky day. But maybe I can turn this into my favor. I was wondering, would it be possible to meet Cor Meum? Oh, no, you don't understand. Cor Meum is all of us. Cor Meum is one. Cor Meum is all. Cor Meum is me. And Cor Meum is you. So, right now, I'm talking to Cor Meum? Yes. I don't think any of your Vinakava lackeys are going to convince me. If I'm doing an orientation, I need to hear it from the core of the hive mind themselves. Interesting. Nobody cares to meet the ones who started it all. And if you meet Cor Meum, you will consider joining the Vinakava, yes? Most definitely. Not. Most definitely not. But I need to get out of this conversation. What time works for you? Well, how about tomorrow? That also works? Good. Good. They drop to the floor and then dissolve. I think I can get out of this one. Maybe. I'm sorry. You did what now? Trust me, Keiichi. This is going to be a good thing. I don't have a problem with the whole joining a collective hive mind thing. That's your choice. But meeting Cor Meum, what possible reason could you have for doing that? After winning Fenrir's favor, things should only go up from here. I'm not going to just have one grand victory. This could be the start of a succession of wins. And, for insight, why would Cor Meum ever let you be their siphon? Their collective hive mind. They have better things to do. One mind or many. Everyone has their secrets. And everyone can be exploited with insight. Oh, I also got you some snacks. Salts and nets? Oh, wait. As you distracted me from the current issue at hand, I take the salted nets over the hearth and start sizzling them. Keiichi stops and starts drooling over its full mouth. Turret solgars, when smoked and dusted, can act as a good seasoning over glummy livers. I start preparing the dish on top of the hearth and in the compressing chamber. Whilst the food is being molded and heated, I take out the frisk juice and make 2 glasses, and a small shot glass for Keiichi, and a medium-sized one for me. The glummy livers look a little underbaked, so I set a light every squeezes juices. So, what are you going to do? What I always do. I win their favor. I'm not talking about that. I mean, how are you going to win Cor Meum's favor? Look, I think it's time to eat. I plate the seasoned glummy livers in salt and nets. They wibble and swim around. That's what I think, Keiichi. I got this. And I have some time to prep for tomorrow. Tomorrow is in a few lunar hours. I know. You have a location? Yeah. I know where I need to go. No worries. By the way, if you want help, the Gnarg work at the Zilker. Thank you, Keiichi. We had the rest of a meal in silence. I turned off the noise machine to ease the room. The only thing we heard that night were the noises from Outworld and the cries from the blackened skies. With nothing better to do, I pick up the papers on the floor and start reading them. Headline: One of the Great Terrors Fenrir is missing. Experts still cannot decipher their location. With each dark hour, that probability that Fenrir is dead grows. Yikes. At one point, damn. We're going perception. I seem to be doing quite well. Although, I wonder if I have to change it to charisma. Who knows? You can continue reading to gain more points to raise your stats, or you can scout for information to gain keywords. Scouting gives me knowledge as well, which is pretty good. Globin, Alduvian River, or the Gnarg at the Zilker. We'll go to this one, since the parasite said it. Flash deep into Mu Rongo, I see the Zilker bar hunched over. Just as I walk up to the entrance, I notice a sign. Unfortunately, it says that they're closed. I walk to the drying shop across the street. Chape. Hoping to just cool down. I ask for using, have my horn, and a drying on my lithal paws. Unexpectedly, I saw an Ortish walk into the bar, bearing the marks of the Vinacava. They skimmed the room in silence before quickly leaving. I asked the dryer what that was about. He tells me that all collectives assign their members certain tasks. Apparently, the Vinacava has been coming here every hour to try and recruit new members, almost desperately. After spilling my back, she lets me leave with the bill. Maybe I'll bring Kichi here for a dry. Your preparation time for the dialogue is up. Now, the silver-tongued will attempt to win the favor of the interlocutor. Cor Meum, where one is all. I knew that orientation would take place in the chopoetic orb above the Muronga soulless border. The mouths and voices from last time were there to greet me and asked me to don a new robe, and then they beckoned me to float into the orb floating above Muronga. The topoetic orb structure, like a mechanical puzzle, began to undo itself. When the entrance opened, the orb resembled a sphere with a slice taken out. I went inside. Cozy. After navigating through multiple vessels and canals, I finally arrived at the core. The core room is the abode of Cor Meum, the mind of the hive mind, or the heart of the Vinacava collective. And attached to the top of the ceiling, there's no other than the heart itself. When I took a step on the ground, the Cardian floor jumped, and Cor Meum immediately knew I was there. Slowly, they began to descend from the ceiling. Nice. Hovering above me, their cords of arteries and veins poured delicately past them like strands of hair. Silver-tongued. Are you ready for orientation? You don't need to ask. If you're ready to discuss. Discuss? Give my own ideas a fair chance. Have a conversation. Haha. Sure. Now, we here also want to make you do a little survey before we start orientation. We hope this is fine with you. Sure. I feel a quake underneath my feet. Please, take a step back. I do so, and from where I was once standing, the floor caves into a hole, which then forms into a mouth-like shape. The floor adjusts something into the room. The yellow and white bile floats in the room, free of gravity. As I was in awe, the hole starts closing itself up by pulling in the meaty floor that surrounds it, similar to quicksand. As it does so, the bile transforms into a smectic state, where it crystallizes to form a piece of paper. Is that just a contract? We just want to know if you have any allergies. Huh. Friends or family you care about, or assault on you. But also, this is about if you joined any hive minds in the past. How long you've existed as a singleton, etc. Is there some kind of writing device I can use? Look up, silver-tongued. Above me, I see a black artery descend from the ceiling. Squeeze it to get some ink out of it. Continue squeezing and press it as you write. After a few minutes, I'm done filling out the survey. What will this be used for? We thank you very much for your cooperation. Now, we're sure you have a lot of questions, which will be answered in due time. Cor Meum's eyes are squinting. They're suspicious of you. However, we were very curious to learn more about you. How come? Cor Meum's arteries are turning blue. They're annoyed. Why, of all the people we've recruited, you're the only one who started making demands. And the only one to make a reasonable demand, and that, to to see us. Sometimes, amongst the multitude of faces, you singletons fail to grasp our reality. Singletons being a collective words for those who are not in a hive mind. And it is because you don't understand us that we have this gap in understanding. If only you could understand why everyone would want to be in the Vinakava, and in your individualistic world, you think in singleton ways. You cannot comprehend our multitude, our members, nor our omnipotent presence. No, you need to be something to center those ideas in a singular being, which in this case will be the vessel you see before you. I don't know if I'm grasping your concepts any better. You really think yourself as the root of everything. Will that make you angry? Or we could go down the route that we make it believe that everything else is a part of it, and that central doesn't matter at all. So like, it becomes a singleton at the end. Maybe. We'll see. Only the beating core of the Vinakava. So, you're both simultaneously your subjects and their rulers? We don't have a hierarchy here. All is the Vinakava, and all of the Vinakava is us, Cor Meum. Regardless, we hope that you and us can come to an understanding somewhere. There must be some foundation for mutual trust. After all, why were you at the funphare? I was lost. That came from the other. Lost? We think we've heard of such a thing before. All the more you should come join us. Here, we will grant you purpose you desperately need. You wouldn't want to get whisked away by that dreadful being. What was their name again? Hornways? Finways? Finway, the lost. Ah, yes. Imagine if you had run into them, what a disaster it would be. Oh, please do tell me, what would have happened? Let's just say, you wouldn't be alive right now. Clearly, they missed the mark with this one. Guess he's standing in the flesh right now. But we just want to understand why. How should we put it? Why would you insist on meeting with us if you have no intention of joining the Vinakava? Our time and resources are precious. Resources? What exact resources are you expending by talking to me? Wow, haha. You have a lot of audacity to go ahead and asking us doltish questions like that. Everything about the rupture needs to be measured precisely, done with the utmost concentration. The rupture? Cor Meum's body is pulsating at two different speeds. It's like two things struggling for control. Huh. That's why all of us bother living at all. Seeking the rupture is one of the wise decisions of balance. For we, haha, silly. Why are we talking when we can show them for what it is? Let me. The lights are out, and the face begins to contort itself. It looks like blood stops moving through its limbs and veins. Then, it awakes once more. Our sincerest apologies for what you saw. A silence steps into the chamber, lingering over both you and its interlocutor. Before we begin, we're wondering a few more things. Please, what is the most lacking thing in your life? What is the one thing you wish you could change? Because there would be no other reason why anyone would join us if they didn't want to leave something behind. You feel entitled to know this? You feel entitled to come to the core of the Vinakava, Cor Meum, and demand a meeting from us? So the least you can do is answer our questions. Our questions? Aren't you one being? And why should I do that? Why you should do what? Answer your questions. Keep in mind that you're trying to recruit me into the Vinakava. I should be the one interviewing you. There's no need for you to get... Enough of your babbling. Foolish singletons, always so individualistic and entitled. Maybe I shouldn't always press for more. Some new limbs for Cor Meum began attentioning themselves to the ceiling. We think it would be an appropriate time to give a tour of the Cardian. The Cardian is the name of the orb that we're currently aside. I start walking towards the exit, adjusting the fabrics on my clothes on the way out. I notice that Cor Meum doesn't follow me. It remains attached to the chamber ceiling. Are you to come with me? We, as Cor Meum, cannot move from this chamber. But we, as Vinakava, can give you a quick tour. The hovering mouths from before appear in front of me, with the mouths on the beating Cor Meum speak in tandem. If you could follow us, please. Certainly. Instead of taking me out of the chamber, they move me to the opposite side of the room. Tubes, veins, and arteries fall down from the ceiling and start to take a life of their own. All of them are drawn to me, as if we were magnets. Wait, hold on. What's happening? You said you were leaving this room for the tour. Please, allow yourself to be connected to our network. No, of course. They'll find any opportunity to connect me to the hive mind. That doesn't mean it's over before it even started. What exactly are you doing? We're going to show you projections from a collective mind. It's easier to just see visualizations rather than go through all the trouble of walking around. As you can feel the tubes suck at your skin pores, a thought crosses your mind. Wait, if they're showing projections from their mind, that means I can use insight. But no, as much as I can see what's in their mind, I can also see what's in mine. So they know what I can traverse their mind. I may suspect something. Cor Meum's main form descends from the ceiling again. Time is running out. What should I do? Why? I mean, they would know what's happening, right? We'll see what happens. And so you do. Okay. Cor Meum. Cor Meum. Cor, assimilate with us. Meum, assimilate with us. We are one. Don't you see? Nobody can discover that we are two minds. Make sure nobody knows their answer. Two minds? Two minds? What on earth? So that means... And finally, there is our ritual site, which is... Have you been listening to us at all? Who are you? Exactly what we said we are. We are the Cor Meum. No, I asked, who are you? The both of you. The both? I'm sorry, I don't think we understand. Don't pull this game with me. You both know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, pray tell, if we could ever understand what you're talking about. How would you have been able to get such information? Trying to deflect the blame onto me, we'll see. Hooking me up to your brains, plural, was a good start. So you shouldn't be surprised that I could get that information. Did you turn off the mainframe connector? I'm certain we did. Incompetent moron. Listen, I don't know what you saw. Since when did he start using singular pronouns? But you must have mistaken all the overload of sensory information for a crazy conspiracy. Are you intoxicated? Maybe under the influence of damaging substances? Because frankly, I'd have no idea as to how you can make such a connection. It's funny, isn't it? Because I never explicitly stated what I saw. Oh, you didn't, did you? But I know that you know what I saw. So I think that you know what I'm talking about. And if that's the case, then my surprise, my shock, isn't so unfounded, is it? Really? So, why don't you go ahead and say it? You're a failure as a collective. Really? I'd argue we're more successful than anything that came before. Who can say that they have the power of two parallel cores backing them up? No one. Not a singular being in this entire universe. And none of my subjects hold this to be a burden in any way whatsoever. So I'd argue that what you're saying is unmistakably false. We aren't failures. It's precisely because of this that we're able to strive. The Divina Cava has been able to strive. But if you'd rather hear it from me, in my words, yes, we are a hive mind. What do you mean by weaved? It means that we're fused into one mind and soul. Cor Meum isn't just Cor Meum together. It's a whole new being, a whole new person. And that person is a blend favor of Cor Meum's consciousness. Yes, we are Cor. We are Cor Meum. We're two as all. I noticed that the colors changed, where now there is a distinct line between the two halves. One with a greater red hue, and the other with a blue hue instead. Even though they're undeniably connected, they also look more fractured than before. This is Meum speaking. I am Cor. Where once there was a unity or plethora of voices, now each of Cor Meum sounds distinct and clear, almost like two separate singletons' voice. They're satisfied. No, 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 no. More and more and more. You can go back to being one. Thank you. Just as quickly as they separated, they fused back together. From this first impression, I can say this. Cor seems to be interested in something flashy, eye-catching, or captivating. You need to get their attention and appeal to their immediate emotions and instinct. Meum seems to be the one in charge of reason and logic. It would need to think I'm trustworthy in order for me to be in their favor. Maybe being too charismatic could make you come across as a sycophant? Don't tell us that we need to entertain you any longer. Now, we think it's best to answer those burning questions you have. The ones you traveled all the way for. The questioning will now begin. Use the keywords you have to ask Cor Meum about them. You cannot address the individuals of Cor Meum yet. Instead, all questions will be asked to the collective being Cor Meum. To do this, simply type in the keyword. Do you have anything else left to ask? Do I even have any keywords? Funphare is the carnival. It's like what they use to assimilate people. Collective is the hive mind. And rupture. They'll be the end, right? So I wonder if we choose rupture, we can go the route that we split them apart. If they want to go flashy or logical. We'll try that. What's so great about the rupture that is your only goal in mind? What an interesting question. I don't think it's that interesting. I'd argue it should be something that's given. Your whole pitch as to why you should join the Vinacava is centered around the rupture. It shouldn't be surprising when someone asks what's so great about it, because you should be able to justify why rupture is worth pursuing. Well, let me ask you this. What is the reason that we live life at all? Is it because of the pleasures that we have? We are constantly in search. Just as Cor Meum was talking, their face undergoes a fission of sorts. You can hear two singletons screaming voices, yelling at each other. See? They're out at work. Cor Meum itself begins to melt and bleed from its mouth. Too long. You talk of rapture. I shall grant you rapture. Let us bask in it together. Don't listen to them. Please get a hold of yourself. What? I always thought that these two would be in perfect harmony. Cor Meum's body is about to burst. You have to pick a side. Turns out I may not have to convince Cor Meum. Looks like I'm going to have to pick a side. Or maybe help the two fuse back together. But choose either Cor or Meum to convince. If I go Cor, then they would start the rupture. If I go Meum, then it will be logical. I'm not quite sure what Meum be. Help them fuse together again. This would make them favor me, but I'm not sure how would I siphon from them. Cor seems simplistic. We'll go Cor. If that's going to be the case, then it needs to go inside their mind. Something is the feeling of dread. Terror is a feeling of dread. Is it going here? Terror. You obtain the key to the other door. Place an answer here. Start typing text below. Okay. The first is the first letter, so it's T, for you to discover. The second, third, and fourth letters in the two lines. T-I-M-E, time. Is that it? I see, in front of me, that my insight must have caught a strain in Cor Meum. They're panicking, out of breath, and confused as to what they're feeling. My power does come with its downsides. That being, they're able to notice a difference in fatigue, pain levels, etc. And, as a collective, they would be more aware of this versus other singleton creatures. What happened? What just happened? Who cares? Make the pain go away, Meum. Me? It's your job. Don't worry, I can fix this. But really, to me I can see the clear problem as to what's happening. The pain. No, it's something a little bit deeper than that. I take a pause for effect, and then I dip my feet into their waist, swirling it around. I think the two of you aren't working. What are you suggesting? How dare you? Can't you see? We're fine. We don't need your help. I'm not saying that you two are broken. On the contrary, I would actually consider your proposition of the Vinacava. Simply put, one of you isn't living up to the standards that I had expected from the collective. Huh. You don't think I'd see through your sophistry? Cor, listen. This malformed migraine, I think it can divide us. But know this, Cor. You're valued. You are the... Don't listen to the insults that thing throws at you. I don't care. We just need the rupture. Oh, I certainly agree with that statement. Cor is definitely a valued member of the Vinacava. Most certainly. They do most of the heavy lifting. They're the brute force of the engaging with the rupture, and acts as a dam, putting in the water altogether, so that the rupture can equally distribute. It must be the most tempting thing in the world, having the rupture right in front of you, yet knowing you have to wait because of the Vinacava and all the processing. Cor is the heart that pumps this experience around the Vinacava network. This is a mentally taxing task, ensuring that each rupture is better than the last, constantly one-upping yourself, because if ever two ruptures were the same, then pleasure would be the new normal, status quo, and people would get tired of it. What could be more difficult? Selfless act? It seems like Cor hasn't heard such nice things about them for a while. Constantly being merged with Meum is one thing, but it's clearly that Meum views Cor to be the one who's inferior. Meum, on the other hand, I'm sorry, but we need to talk. What? Does it suggest some little game? You see, Cor, look at that foul-mouthed sophistry once more. You seriously think that siding with Cor would be better? Frankly put, Meum, please, you should take criticism constructively. I haven't... Cor, let's put this little monster out of its misery, Cor? Cor! Let the silver-tongued speak. Clearly, they have insight into the situation that we don't have. You have the audacity to think a singleton knows more than us. In the present, we aren't Cor Meum. We resemble singletons ourselves. We need the rupture. Needing the rupture? That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. Meum, we all appreciate the job you do, but frankly, we don't have the time on our hand. Time. We live forever, you imbecile. There's no need to account for time. Oh, hold on now. If I do recall correctly, I remember you saying, our time and resources are precious. You are costing us a lot of it. And now, I think I know why. Because your lifespan is limited. What a laughable lie. This is an unfounded Meum. There are millions of terrors alive that could rip apart the universe if they wished. Also, if you don't have members of the Vinacava, or lessen your lifespan, that's why you've been desperate to recruit. Actually, you've been so desperate that you're willing to engage in a conversation with me. Even though the both of us know very well I have no intention of joining. I walk around Cor Meum, until I'm facing the side of Cor. I get on my knees. Cor, take it from me, a singleton outsider, that this relationship isn't working. Meum's calculations, consumption of your energy, only drains your resources and wastes your time. Why do you have to evaluate the pain that comes with the pleasure? Life is short, even for you. And sometimes you have to take the fall to get the greatest rapture of all. Isn't it that tantalizing risk of possibly losing it all makes it when you succeed all the greater? Or, they're insane. Or, you can't have pleasure without pain. The two almost go hand in hand. Trying to filter through exceptions is just doing a disservice to you. There's a rapture right at your fingertips, and you can't take it. Cor. No. We don't need to hear any more of this. We don't have to hear any more of this. I know. And my eyes, out as Cor Meum fused back together as one. I failed. Damn. So I needed charisma? As they're no longer separated, this means that... You think you can get under our skin, Nice try. You have to admit you're rather impressive specimen. Surely all the more impressive that we could use in addition to the Vinacava, yes? Wait, I never made my final decision. No. I thought there was a way out. At least I can damage the mind. I can make it out of here. So maybe this time. What? What is this place? Oh, this is wonderful. Yes, truly wonderful. We can't wait to start this new day here with everyone else. Damn, did I join the hive mind? I didn't manage to escape. We think it's time to start again. We need to make more come. We'll make more come. More will come. More will be assimilated. More will join us. More is needed after all. For the rapture. Damn. Void end. Yes. And you want it, right? Yes. No. So, why can't you get it? Why wait? Why be enslaved to your fear of pain? Yes. Everything, it all makes sense. Cor Meum begins to levitate their body off the ground. No. This is all Cor's doing. Their body gets entangled in the vines, arteries and the valves. It gets too wrapped up that it feels like they could choke themselves. Wait. Cor, please. Meum's part of the body begins pulsating once more and more, almost like they're about to explode. Their eyes start bulging, their mouths are gagging, they're screaming in pain. Oh, Kyle? What the? You see in the moment Meum explode from the strain that Cor put on them. Their body is across the floor, and you're carrying blood on your face. Your feelings? Don't matter. What you put on? You give a smile. Your eyes aren't deceitful enough to hide your fear, but you give a smile. After all, Cor is watching, and you wouldn't want to upset them, would you? Oh, ha ha ha! Oh, hello. What? You destroyed your other half, didn't you? That felt. Now that was my kind of rapture. They start laughing to themselves again. Are they miserable? Just trying to cope with what happened. Confused? Perhaps they feel liberated. Or perhaps it was the first time they felt anything at all. What a beautiful thing. After being dissolved within Cor Meum for so long, now they can just be Cor. Cor's eyes turn to you. Thank you. You made me realize how much I was missing. How suppressed I was under Meum's influence. Now I can make all the decisions for the Vinacava. And I plan to go into a new direction. As to regarding your assimilation, I know. I didn't account for this. Don't care. Nice. We're safe. It's ultimately your choice. I don't care whether or not we assimilate the world or just one person. What matters is that I can finally feel. Although I personally think that the greatest reward I can give you is the Vinacava. It's clear you don't want that. So, I hope you wouldn't mind me asking for another form of compensation. Cor is listening. Have you heard of a siphon before? Yes, I just stop you right there. I know what you want. So what? Is to gain our mental energy. We normally only permit such exchanges for the Vinakava. Can I take Meums? But as you've enlightened us, in a new age for the Vinakava, we'll make an exception. However, we have one condition to speak of. Name it. Never tell anyone as to what happened here today. I don't know if I'll keep my end on that bargain. But still, consider my lips sealed. Well, I hope you don't mind if I make the finishing details on this deal. Consider it done. Using your power of insight into the mind of Cor, you'll leave your mark on the mind, which can say anything you want. A signature, a keyword, or perhaps just a word that's meaningful to you. Mine. With my mark imprinted on Cor Meum's mind, it acts like a signature of some sorts, meaning that I can siphon their mental energy at any time, as long as the connection is maintained. Congratulations, you've successfully won Cor Meum's favor, or whatever is left of them. Here, we can save your progress. Yep. Speak, and I will listen.